So the Bay Area is filled with hype right now, ain't it? The Giants are at the top of the MLB. The Warriors are seeming to be building another championship run with their big three. I won't lie, I don't know much about the Sharks, but they're probably trying to build something there. Hopefully. And finally, the team with the most hype, the 49ers, more specifically, the Trey Lance hype train. You see, in my opinion, this Trey Lance practice hype is great. Casual fans seeing these highlights is great. This shows that the 49ers got their future and possibly present. But I feel there is such a thing as too much hype. Let me explain. Hype is excitement and anticipation taken to the extreme, and it naturally leads to high expectations. If you were cautiously realistic about what's coming, you wouldn't be hyped, would you? The problem is that when something gets caught up in the hype culture, the next movie, TV show, or even video game, fans get too excited and start portraying it as the greatest thing since sliced bread. And yes, right now Trey seems to be that, but you have to remind yourself of a few things. As of posting this video, it has only been one full week of training camp, and about 3 or 4 days of padded practice. Trey, besides practicing a play designed for him, has only taken second team reps in which the 49ers cornerback depth isn't fully there. And it is worth noting there are first team pass catchers mixed in with the second team. So of course, it looks like he's gonna ball out. And finally, he hasn't played a preseason game yet. If Trey balls out during preseason, all the hype has been warranted. But if he struggles, then we see why Kyle Shanahan hasn't made it an official competition. Trey is maybe the most physically gifted quarterback the 49ers have ever had. But if he struggles in the preseason, Kyle won't let him start. When asked when will Trey start, he said this.
Come in here, he's going to compete, he's going to do everything, and the day that it looks like Trey can compete with him and he's ready to go, then we'll know that, our players will see that, and we won't hesitate on that, just like I feel like we wanted at any other position.
So does a guy who struggles in preseason look like a guy who can win? And here's the thing, we all knew this hype was going to blow up. As I said before, he's probably the most physically gifted quarterback the 49ers have ever had. So of course, every run and every bomb from was going to eventually lead to this. Especially on Tuesday when pads finally came on, because the discussion was, can he do it wearing pads? And yes, he did. And hype grew even more attention when ESPN and the NFL Network started to talk about it. I know for 49ers and just hardcore sports fans in particular, who cares what they say on there? But if they're hyping Trey up, then that's more eyes on the Bay, more pressure on Lance. I know Lance says he's going to sign on social media, but occasionally stuff gets to a person even if they don't want to hear it. You can make the case that Kyle doesn't want that attention on Trey either. When they traded up for Lance, you could tell there was a plan on how to get him ready to play in the NFL and how he'll eventually become QB1. This is why every time he talks, he's adamant that Trey is QB2. If you believe him or not is your opinion. All I know is me and your fans were worried he was drafting Mac Jones all offseason. Well, if you listen to him when he was talking, it was obvious he wasn't. But as I say, more eyes on Trey made her trying to make this as smooth a transition as possible. Say Kyle doesn't think he's ready and Jimmy is starting week 1. Imagine the backlash from it. It's unnecessary pressure for a team with playoff and Super Bowl hopes. Another point I want to make is that hype blinds people. The hype Trey Lance is getting with people saying he is the next Patrick Mahomes is a bit bad. Saying he starts having a slump or teams figure him out because he's a rookie who hasn't played in 2 years. Live reps and game time will fix the problems, but you should expect a heavy run game at first when Trey starts. That would disappoint people, expecting a highly explosive offense, but the worst or best case scenario, depending on how you look on it, and is looking more at first a 2019 style offense than anything. And the thing, when it comes to tweets coming out of camp where most of this hype has started from, it's a majority about the QBs. Yes, from certain dudes that are good at a job, like the Nine Nation team, the 49ers Gold Mine, and the SF Niners, they talk all different parts of the team. That is great. But I'm tired of seeing some people just focus on just the QBs and give no context to what they did actually, which builds more hype than anything. And when we get to the regular season and there are problems outside of the QB, or there are QB problems and people ask why didn't we notice this in camp, well, you pulled everyone's attention to the QBs than everywhere else. So I spent this time here saying why this hype can be good but mostly bad for the 49ers and Trey Lance. And here's the thing, you are completely right to be hyped for Trey Lance. From what the 49ers have shown from the 11-on-11s, you should be hyped. And if you aren't, I understand that as well in fear. There are still question marks about Trey. Supposedly he has a problem looking at his receivers. On the ball long, probably going for the big play or something else like that. And also throwing high passes as well as the issues I said earlier with reps and, other stuff. So say you aren't on the Trey Lance hype train. When will be, say, the best time to jump on? Well, it's a very simple answer. I would say after the joint practice the 49ers will have with, I think, the Chargers. It will be his first time against a different defense, and that defense that the Chargers has is looking very good. So that will be a good test for him, and of course preseason. If he impresses during live football, in which they can hit it if they want, then in all honesty, Trey should be named QB1. And that will be it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you want, like, subscribe, heck, even dislike it. Tell me what I'm doing wrong here. I want to improve as much as possible. And see you next time.